Right, here is the first anchor moment that kind of has like kicked off this whole journey to where I'm at now. So in March of last year, I was just like not feeling super great for a long time, and I was like, I'm just tired all the time, and like this is not medical advice. This was just my journey, okay, my journey. But I was like not feeling super great, and I could only eat certain things. I was getting sick all the time, and I like was just not having a good time. Well, then fast forward, we were eating out actually for my sister's birthday party, and well, for her birthday. And I like was not feeling good. I hadn't eaten in like 3 days, and I was like, what is going on with my body? And then I went to work that Saturday night, and I could like barely get dressed. I could barely put my shoes on. I like was struggling. And then after I got done with work, I called one of my friends who was working at the hospital, and I was like, bro, I swear I'm just constipated. Like, I swear if I go to the ER and they just give me an enema because I'm constipated, like, I'm gonna be ticked off. Because at the end of the day, I'm gonna pay all this money for them to tell me I'm constipated. And she's like, you really need to come in. And I was like, okay, whatever. So bite the bullet, go in. And she was so sweet. She FaceTimed me the whole time. I told my family, I was like, no need to come in. Like, it's fine. They're going to tell me I'm constipated. No big deal. That's not what happened. So then they end up coming in on the FaceTime with my friend. And she's like, the nurse is like, hey, so we're going to admit you. And I was like, for why? And she was like, you have a gallstone in your neck. And I was like, my neck? Girl. I was terrified. I said, my neck? My friend on FaceTime was like, you want me to call your parents? I was like, yes, please, thank you. So she called my mom, and my mom and my dad rolled up so quick. Anyways, fast forward. I'm like getting admitted, never been admitted before into the hospital. I'm like terrified. I'm like super nervous, and they give me all the medicine to help me like feel better because I'm in a lot of pain. I'm like in a lot of pain. And I'm just like trying to like thug it out, you know what I'm saying? And I'm in a lot of pain, and they go like, they're taking care of me, whatever. They're like, okay, in the morning you're gonna have surgery and we're gonna get it out. And I was like, okay, whatever. And I'm like terrified because literally like the months prior, I was telling my like cousin and my sister, I was like, man, if I ever like have emergency surgery and like I'm gonna sign a DNR, like don't resuscitate me, because if I go, it's my time to go. But I was like terrified because I was literally sitting in that hospital room crying as my mom is like sleeping next to me because they didn't want to leave me alone. Shout out to my family, love them a ton. And they are like there, my mom's trying to get some sleep, and then the hospital's like uncomfortable to sleep in, and I'm like crying because I'm like if what happens if I like go on this table, like am I gonna be fine? She's like, you're gonna be fine, they do this surgery all the time. And I'm like crying, and I'm terrified, and then I'm like, wait, it's not that deep, like it's not that deep. And I had to realize what was causing me all this like emotional like turmoil. And I was like frustrated, and I was like, what if? Is because I was just not happy with how I was living my life up until that point. Like I had gotten super cynical, and I just wasn't joyful, and I just thought like being happy and joyful and like this just was not going to be me. Like this just was not my journey. And I was just like mad at everybody. I was trying to control everything, and I was like, I was just very down, and I was like feeding into like all the negative things in life. And then literally in that hospital room, I was like, this is ridiculous. And I'm like, my sister was so sweet, brought me headphones up there, brought me a little stuffed animal to cuddle, because you know we all gotta have something to cuddle, and like a blanket so I could stay warm. Okay, but them hospital socks, those are real deal. Okay, I love my hospital socks. I still got them. I'm gonna need to get me a new pair. Maybe I can just buy some online. I don't need another hospital set. That's not what I'm saying. But anywho, tripping out, okay? And then surgery went fine, obviously. But it was like that night I told myself, look, it's not that deep. And at the end of the day, my dad has told me my whole life, like, caca happens every day. Caca happens. Like, life happens. But you know what? Tomorrow's going to come. And so I told myself, you know what? I'm done. I'm done living life like this. Like, I just want to live life to the fullest. So each day, if I'm only able to give 20% that day, well, I'm going to give 20%. And then I'm going to be so glad I gave 20% that I'm going to be able to give 30%, because there's always a little bit more in you. I was like, that's what I'm going to do. But if I'm able to give 100% that day, I'm going to give 100%. I'm going to live each day with just being happy that I brought my best and whatever that is. Like, because at the end of the day, it ain't that deep and stuff happens. Like, we're human. Like, we're going to mess up each day, but it's about how you go about handling it. You know what I'm saying? And so I was like, I'm going to focus on what I can control, and that's all I'm going to do. And so that's what I did. And it kind of got a little bit better from there. And then, like, turns out the gallbladder wasn't the only issue. I was still having issues after that. And then I was irritated with the doctors because I was like, just spent all this money. What the heck? But it was still good. And so fast forward, and then I ended up having a colonoscopy. Okay, I'm like, I'm too young for this, but I can mark that off for a little bit. And the colonoscopy was just to, like, make sure everything was good. And from the blood work and from my colonoscopy, found out I was celiac. And I literally, it's crazy. I literally got celiac an autoimmune disease, because I was stressing out so much. Like, my body literally started turning on itself. Like, I'm not a doctor, so I can't give y'all a medical advice on this. Like, again, I'm not a doctor. But this is just my journey. Okay, don't be saying Bridget said, no. I'm not a doctor. Okay, I didn't go to school to be a doctor. Okay, that's not what I went to school for. Okay, but go Pokes. That's where I went to school. Shout out Oklahoma State. Hopefully football, we're gonna do it big this year. But all that to say, I literally did it to myself. Like, I got celiac from stressing so much. Like, stress does so much to the body that it can, like, really jack it up. And it was in that moment after I had my colonoscopy and the doctors gave me the diagnosis of celiac. Shout out to my freaking doctor. He's like the best of the best. And I was like, wow, okay. So I've been stressing too much. And it was like literally that had been like in June, I believe, of last year. And so from March to June, it was just an extreme health journey. And I like just had to like do some self-reflection. And with my health journey and realizing how much stress can like really jack you up, that's when I really like locked in. And I was like, you know what? At the end of the day, it ain't that deep. It ain't that deep. And I'm going to focus on what I can control, because stress can jack your body up. And if I can like just work on myself, then I'm going to do that. And so that's what I did. And I took a break from social media for that time and kind of just locked in on myself. And then, like, just came back swinging. And I was like, Lord, at the end of the day, like, use me how you see fit. And, you know, I'm not here to push Jesus on you. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to share my journey, because at the end of the day, like, I know I can always learn something from somebody else, whether you believe in Jesus or you believe in another religion or you don't believe in religion. Like, at the end of the day, like, we all can learn something from each other. And so I'm just here to share my journey. I'm not going to shove my faith in your face, but I'm still going to talk about it. But like, that was my journey. And so I made a promise to myself. I made a promise to my friends. I made a promise to my family. I was like, I'm never going back to that again. Like, I'm not getting caught up. I'm not getting my chones in a wad, because it ain't that deep at the end of the day. Because you know what? Caca happens. And I added my own thing to it. Shout out to my pops for that. But caca happens every day. You can like choose to wipe your butt or go around stinking up the place. And your girl ain't stinking up the place no more. And neither should you, because at the end of the day, it ain't that deep. Tomorrow's gonna happen no matter what. So what you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it? But that's kind of like the first kind of moment for that. But then, yeah, it was a crazy time. I'm gonna share some more stories, but this is almost 10 minutes. Okay, I'm new to this, so we're just gonna post this. Let me know. I'm an open book. So yeah, this has been fun. I'm excited to kind of share this, because at the end of the day, if it can just reach one person, and I know I've said this before, but if it can just help one person out, like, I'm like, that's what it's all about. So listen to your body. Don't stress too much, because it'll jack your body up, and it's not that deep.